Working over here a little bit today. We're going to be looking at some planting live here. I've got some beans that we need to get in the ground. I got zucchini, got some yellow squash. Yeah, so it's a lot of good stuff happening today. But we're starting off with a special treat here. I'm pretty excited. So again, for those that don't know, I come here live pretty consistently here on YouTube in the garden. I also have a business side to my channel too. So you may be surprised, like, wait a minute, isn't this the guy that does the business stuff? Yes, I'm that guy too. But I also do the garden stuff as well on this channel. Again, it's just fun to do. I enjoy it. It's great to have you on here. So we are gonna, I've got some pheasant back, some dryad saddle is what it's called, that grew across the street from my house here. We're gonna give it to my chickens. I like it personally. It's really good, but in this case, I thought maybe the girls would enjoy it. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do today here in the garden. So I appreciate everybody who's kind of coming along. I've never given these guys mushrooms before, so I did my research. You can see we got the girls there. Did my research. We built this this run last weekend. Upgraded them from another one. So we're gonna kind of get everybody kind of caught up what's been going on here in the out here for the last bit. Nope, we're not getting out here. There you go. Give these guys some mushroom here. See what they think of it. They've never had it before, so I have no idea how they're gonna respond to this. But it did say that you can eat. They do eat mushroom. So we're gonna let them pick away at it and just see. And hopefully they like it. If they don't, no big deal. It'll just end up being mulch. The other piece of that too is I've got wine cap mushroom that is gonna be starting to pop up here anytime now. I've actually had some little ones pop up. So if they like these mushrooms, it's not gonna be all the time, but every now and then give them a little special treat, right? It'll be good for them. So yeah. Good stuff today. So let's kind of go over where we were at yesterday, a couple days ago, I should say, out here in the garden. So we were working here. Let me go and grab a couple things here, kind of get in frame. So, oh, don't want that going on. Sorry, we got some of my spinach was already bolting. It's been warm. It's been really warm lately, so I got to keep an eye on it. But so we started this a couple days ago, where we got the. What you see back here, this is all leftovers from the previous run that my chickens had. Took that apart, salvaged most of the parts where I could. I've got some up in the actual run here itself, which we'll take a look. But I've got cucumbers set up all along there. We've got lettuce. I've got some older lettuce here, which we are munching on as a fam, but we also just kind of got it around for the chickens too. More lettuce that has started here. And then I've got spinach. I've got some cilantro. We got all of our brassicas going over here. See these guys right here? We got all of our brassicas kind of doing their thing over here. So, which are coming along pretty well. You can see where they're popping up here. This is a type of spinach. But yeah, right here. So we got our kale, we got some broccoli, got some cauliflower, and then we got some Swiss chard. You can see the Swiss chard doing its thing right there. So all things considered, looking pretty good here, folks. I'm digging it. So appreciate everybody kind of hanging out with me today. It's good stuff. Hope I earned your subscription today. Other things with the chicks here, I kind of got, you guys can see this or not. Down here, go point at it a little bit better. Decided to give them a little something kind of help keep them busy while they're in between grass time here. That we got a full block of basically snacks and treats for them in here. Bring it a little closer, a chunk of it here so you can see for the chickens, for them to be able to have and kind of peck away at some snacks every now and again, just kind of keep them entertained in between periods in the grass. A little bit there, so that's a lot of fun, enjoying that. Yeah, so today, other things to keep up on. So we also planted our peppers. I got rows of, trying to think here, I got jalapeno, and then we got poblano peppers that are planted here. I put some basil in the ground, got all of our tomatoes going. Again, I'm in northern Michigan, so for me to be able to have all this stuff in the ground now is pretty wild. I'm not even gonna lie, it's pretty cool. Big fan of that. So let me get that there. I want to grab this guy, kind of get us. Actually, we're going to start over here today, so it's fine where it's at. The last piece that we got here, for those that haven't been around for this, and if you have been, welcome back. We've got our celery in the ground here. I've got all my carrots, but we've got here, which is they're doing a thing, is our radishes. Different types of radishes here. So they're getting ready to be thinned out a little bit. So like for instance, I've got this and this one taken on either side of the one here, and you know they're looking they're getting ready where they're going to start blowing up a little bit. So this is the time to thin them out. Don't worry about thinning them out too early. Wait till they're big enough and you kind of see where they're at, and they're easier just to thin out, because when they're smaller, it's just a pain to get in there and work on them. So, all right, so let's get you guys set up here so we can be good. So, hey, Reddy, what's happening? Welcome. Good to have you on here. Yeah, good to have you on here. So let's get rolling here a little bit, kind of get this stuff happening here. So we are going to start with, we've got our Organo Republic blend. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be starting with these two. We've got our zucchini, and we're going to be doing our yellow squash, and they're going to be going in this area. Do I want them over there, or do I want the beans? I'm going to think about this now. Actually, I'm going to put the beans here. We're going to put the squash on this side. So let me readjust. Let me rethink that now. Oh, you're from India. Okay, yeah. So this, yeah, zucchini, you get familiar with this, and they're going to yellow squash. This is a summer squash. They're really great. We, you know, I have those pretty much year round at the market. I'm always picking those up because those are good. Them be delicious. So, yeah, India. I don't think I'm growing anything that necessarily you guys are going to have much of your cooking there. I guess the coriander. I got a lot of coriander is going to become is growing. The cilantro. So we have coriander. You guys have, but all right. So in this area over here, I have my onions going here, but we're going to start in this section. Yeah, why not? We'll make it work. Oh, and I have mystery plant. Mystery plants started too. We're going to get those in the ground today too. No idea what they are. It's going to be exciting to see. I think they're probably a type of lettuce. So, you know, I don't know. We're going to see. Oh, and then we also have this growing. It grows wild throughout my entire area. Is this stuff here? It's wild garlic, and you know it's garlic because it's hollow on the inside. That's good stuff. So anytime that pops up, I'm in a good mood. All right, so here's the deal. When we're growing these, it's going to say we're always going to follow the directions that are on here. Like, that's the most important thing. Okay, so like for instance, zucchini, summer squash is typically green in color, mild, and it's delicious, right? Sow seeds directly in the spring, 1/2 inch deep in well-drained soil. Keep moist until germination occurs, right? So this area here, I won't have to worry about that too much. It is as far as being maintained, it's like well moist. It's got a lot of clay in it, so it's good. And on this side over here, we have very similar thing. They want moist until germination. They want this 1 inch. But we're going to do like zucchini right here, and then right next to it, we're going to have some yellow squash just kind of going. We want to make sure we keep the separation right. And this is what I love. Organo Republic, again, not sponsored. This is just what I've been using. These seeds have been really great so far. Good germination rate. We'll see how the fruits are. But they're going to tell you on here how far apart to keep these things here. So the zucchini want to be 3 feet apart. Oh, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And then this spot here is going to be 24. So we've got 3 feet and 2 feet. That's kind of the distance here. So definitely appreciate that subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love that. All right. So the next thing on here is just going to be working the soil a little bit. We had rain all day yesterday. Well, we had rain last night and then most of the day today. So it's drying out now before our next level rain. But I want to work the soil a bit. So anytime we have the rain come, and we've already done this, we start anything is going to be, how many seeds are in one pack? There's usually around 15. 15, we'll be able to take a look here in a second on them. And you can get, like, I got this, the entire kit came from Amazon like this. So if you go to Amazon and look for a 55 seed packet, it'll tell you. I mean, it's a grand total of 35,630 seeds total in the bag for like 20 bucks, I think. It wasn't a bad. But what we're going to do here, this is going to be, this is a broad fork. What this does is loosens up the soil, and that's something we want to do, especially here since we have a lot of clay. And we've already done this, so it goes in pretty easy, and we're just loosening it up. That's the idea. So when I come in with a hoe, it can, you know, it's not going to be terrible, you know, extremely tough work for it. We want it nice and loose. But the idea here is, again, we want to make sure that the soil is not compacted, right? When you have soil that's compressed, the roots are not able to get down. Water has a hard time getting down. Air has a hard time getting down. So you get the wrong bacteria and just the wrong everything going on. So we don't want that, okay? So we have a broad fork that we want to use. And you can see things are picking up in the garden here because the overall health, I'm getting some, these are brand new, like little baby worms that are just kind of getting rolling. So, and I'm finding tons of these in the garden. So let's go to the chickens real quick. They love these things. Give me 1 second. Hey girls, I'm gonna leave this kind of half open. You guys like kicked the worms. Okay, whatever. All right, so anyways, goal here is we're gonna be working this section. I'm gonna work this next section over here. We're gonna come in with the hoe and then kind of get us set up here. Because when you're talking about zucchini, when you're talking about your yellow squash, they need room to kind of grow. Now you can grow them vertical if you want, like for instance, I could use, and I may, it just depends how they grow this year. I can use a T-post like this right next to the plant, and as it's growing, just keep the vine going up like this. So it's gonna be a vertical thing, which I can absolutely do. And I may do it. It's just right now I'm not planning on it. And if you do it that way, what that does is gonna give you opportunity to space your plants closer. Like that's the idea, you know, for going. So you can still have, make sure you have plenty of air, you know, moving through the system. Make sure we're good. And our goal here is just to loosen up the soil. It is, I cannot overstate how important this step is to always loosen up your soil. And if you don't have a broad fork, you know, and if you have to till, I mean, that's fine. Preferably you don't, because it does mess up the, like the strata where the microbes are at. Like you have healthy microbes at different levels. And when you basically till everything up and spreads them everywhere, you lose a lot of your microbes. They get confused, right? But then what I'm doing here is simply just loosening this up so I can come in here and work it a little bit and try to minimally disturb it, okay? And loosening this up is not really disturbing it. When I come in the hoe here in a second, it's doing some damage, but it's all part of the deal. Because we want to have these up a little bit. So here with like zucchini, your squash, stuff like that, we want to get rows that are up a little bit. What that's going to do is allow the stalk, the main stalk, to not necessarily be in the water as much when it's first going, you know, where it's going to be moist. We want to make sure it's up. Like that's one of the issues you run into. So yeah, but so anyways, so today's an interesting day. I finished up with a client I've been working with. I'm a business coach for those that don't know. So finished up with a client I've been working with for a while now, and they're on their way doing great things. It's always a little sad when you move on from clients, you know, they graduate, but you know, that's the idea. I want to make sure people are moving on and getting better. You know what I mean? If you're not doing that, then I'm not trying to have people where they're dependent on me like all the time. That would just be, yeah, it's just silly to do that. But you know, it's always sad whenever they do move on, because you can build relationships with these folks. You know, we're going to be staying in contact, but you know, it's always a little somber. Last days we're working through stuff, but it was a good day today. Good day watching them graduate. So tonight I have a chamber event, so Chamber of Commerce. For those that aren't familiar, it's basically in my county, it's a group that gets all the business owners together. So I'm gonna be over there doing some work tonight. The networking piece, just talking with folks. So that's what's gonna be happening for me later. Come to my artichoke, it flipped over. That's not what we want. It looks like one of my artichokes got damaged in the wind that was around here. That's no good. All right, so we got the first row here. You can see this one's gonna be set up. And we're gonna be planting about, you know, an inch down on these. So we need 2 feet basically between like this row and this one. Like that's the idea. So with this lined up, it'll basically be, I'm going to be aiming really just to kind of have it at the middle of my subscribe sign right there. I think that ought to get me there. So I'm going to come through here and lift this area up, but you can see how easy that was to work here. The other stuff that you're looking for. Oh, hey, how's it going? Syfax, I'm in northern Michigan. Northern Michigan. Thank you for asking, the sir. I guess I'm old enough to be a sir. Appreciate you that. Appreciate that. So can you guys see? I'm not sure. It's kind of hard to see on here, but they've got those white splotches that are on here. So that is good fungal growth that we want to have. This is actually a really good one to see. That good fungal growth on here. We want to have that going in here in your soil. It's really important to make sure you have solid mycorrhizal is what it's called, but it's fungus growing in your actual soil. It's a big part. Soil, fungus and plants, bacteria, they're all trading nutrients to feed plants. So better than UK had a very hot dry this year so far, but yeah, it's been an interesting year here. I'll say that much. We normally, like saying, I shouldn't have as much stuff in the ground right now, but the weather's just been cooperating. So yeah, heat wise, yeah. And that's kind of where we're at. It is just toasty right now. Like saying, it's humid and hot. It feels like I'm in South Texas right now. I lived there for a while. Kind of what it feels like. But I'm not used to being able to have, what am I doing? Broadfork. I'm not used to being able to have stuff in the ground right now. So this is kind of cool that, we get to hang out right now, because normally this isn't happening. So yeah, it's wild how the climate is definitely shifting a little bit. Because we had, here in Michigan, we actually had a normal, what I would call a normal winter. It was cold and we had a ton of snow. It snowed like every day. It was a whole thing. So, to come here and have a heat, basically this heat and moisture, the moisture we get, it's that time of year. We're supposed to be getting moisture in here, but it's just odd. So 5 kinds of which is good for you. That's awesome. Squashes aren't they? Squashes are great. They take forever, but man, are they ever they make for really good soup. It's hard to beat a good squash soup, The yellow squash, the summer squash and the zucchini are great in stir fry and that type, which is what I put it in. I actually put zucchini and yellow squash in when I'm making ramen. I'll have the spinach. I'll put those in, just fry them up separate, or I should say saute is a better phrase, and put them in with some dashi and do up some ramen. Some actual real nice there. Which we've been experimenting with dashi in the house. I'm not an expert, but man, is it ever good when you do it fresh. Oh my goodness. What a difference it makes with ramen. So here's something for you guys to see. So this one, when I talk about the clay in my soil, oh goodness, and why compaction is such a problem. Soup curries, heck yeah, everything. So this is what I'm talking about with the clay in my area. I don't know if you can see. I'm trying to break that up. See how I got those orange spots are showing up? There's clay in all of this. Now you can see there's wood chips getting in there. And that's part of what I'm doing is breaking up, but you can just see the compaction here. There you go. There's a big chunk right there. See that piece of clay? We don't like that. So part of this was using the Broadfork and having compost on top of it before I do my Broadforking is to break this crap up, excuse the language, and insert more organic matter into the soil. Again, that's the goal, is to really, at the end of the day, break this stuff up, because nothing really wants to grow in there. The microbes don't really enjoy it all that much. The anaerobic ones do. Those are the ones we don't want to have, which are the ones that don't need oxygen. But this stuff here is just gross. It's just gross. So we want to just keep introducing as much, again, compost. So if you guys haven't, well, let me turn this a little bit. If you guys haven't been on the actual live stream before, where we're working on compost, it's I've got basically 4 pallet size compost bins, plus another area that's got room for I'd say at least another 4 compost bins worth of leaves that I use for leaf mold too. So yeah, so this is my 3rd year working this. My 1st year in here, I just came and turned everything over. Like, I broke it all up and, you know, to start working it that way. But the Broadfork now, because I do have some, when you look at, if I can show you again, but I'm starting to get compost and organic matter worked in there now. So the Broadfork does actually make a big difference. Now, the 1st year, I just grew whatever the heck would grow in here and let it rot just to get some stuff in here because it was pretty bad. But we're not there right now. Let's get this last bit. And like, again, this is the thing, by the way, I had an old stream, like, I mean, this is old, like thousands, maybe years old, ran through this part right here. As you go down, yeah, I had pumpkins all over the place here. Yeah, absolutely. And then some sunflowers too. But I had a old stream that ran across here, like when there used to be like a mile of ice on top of me. So this area, and it runs just like this, about maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 meters wide for our European folks there. About 3 meters wide, and where you've got silt, clay, and then you get down to a layer about give or take, I'd say about 1 meter down, and it's now less than 1 meter, maybe about half. Either way, it's yay far, give or take, and it's pebbles, tons of pebbles, where it was where the glacier had basically something running underneath here. So it's this mess, because if you go right here, we're literally just right next door. I've got good soil, like nice and crumbly, just what you want to have, nice and healthy, literally right next to it. So it's just this one spot that just kind of stinks that we're just working through, and that's okay. All right, we don't worry about it. We're gonna make it better, and I'm happy to have the clay in the soil because it does retain water. So like that part's nice, especially when we get into these really hot summers that we have here in the Midwest. Like it gets toasty. It's nice to be able to have that, have the clay in the soil. It's just, it shouldn't be the main component. It shouldn't. We want it to be involved, but not the primary actor. You know what I mean? All right, so we're just going to build this up a little bit. Again, the goal on this is to have everything raised so that when this stuff right here, this garbage, right, got our clay, isn't letting the water necessarily sink in. We don't want the stems of the base stems of these plants to be down in the water and get waterlogged. That's how they get disease, and that's how they die. So we just want them raised up a little bit. So that's all we're doing here. Once these are up and established, I'm going to come back and put more compost over the top of them to help protect the soil. I think that's a big piece of it, to protect the soil, and also help to manage the overall for water management here. That's really all you're looking to do, folks. The plants know what to do. You just got to give them the right environment. That's the goal here, is just to kind of give them a nice little spot to hang out. Okay, so there's that spot. So next up, I'm going to break this up just a little bit. Man, that is just something. Ugh, so annoying. All right, let's get that built back up. All right, so we're going to start on this one over here. So I'm going to move the camera back over. I appreciate everybody who's on here. Hopefully I've earned your subscription. Again, I come here live pretty consistently, just in the garden doing stuff, hanging out. The other side too is that if you do subscribe to me, don't be surprised when you see my business content too. During the mornings, actually on the same channel, I do business content for small business stuff. So don't be surprised if you see that. And you know what? Give it a watch, because I cover employee stuff too. It's kind of interesting. Like I say, I'm a small business coach. That's what I do. All right, so we are going to start with our zucchini on this side here. Again, this is from Organo Republic. For anybody that's just joining, we're working off. Again, this isn't sponsored. Just to be clear, I bought this off of Amazon because I wanted to test it out. The Organo 5,630 seeds. I won't use them all, obviously, but they're there. We're giving it a try, and I like them. So far the germination rate's been through the roof, astounding. I haven't really had many duds. The second piece is I love the packaging. I think it's really great. It just looks attractive. The other side too is the directions on the back. They're clear. Again, I know it's backwards for you guys. I'm sorry. I sent a note to YouTube like, how can we mirror this thing so I can show stuff and not be weird, right? I mean, I could do a whole setup on my computer, but cell phone's easier. Anyways, they've got these cool little, they're just showing you pictures of to help in the spacing and what you need to do, soil type, how you want for sun, right? Again, like here, full sun, which we want to have. So that's one of the reasons we're looking at this area. But it gives you your spacing. But the other spot too is they give you this cool little spot here to have where you can go find other stuff here. Let's do, hold on real quick. I just want to make sure I got here. Yeah, although it doesn't bother me, I would recommend having a separate. Yeah. I'm gonna get a separate channel, dude. I 100%. I don't know if it's dude, but I'm assuming it's dude. I always say dude. Sorry, but I'm gonna have a separate channel for this. Absolutely. I just needed to get monetized first, and I just got monetized on Monday. It's like I finally got monetized, so I was doing both. This will eventually break off into its own thing now that I'm monetized on this channel. So the FYI, yeah, 100%, it's gonna happen. So I just need to get to that point where I can split off and everything. So I'm probably going to go through, maybe once I get through the growing season here and everything started, I'll probably break it off and do a separate channel. We'll see. But yeah, it's good stuff. But thank you for that. Again, I take all the advice and stuff I can get. Yeah. But the algorithm, it's funny. The algorithm is really interesting now on like these, that's great. I'm seeing I've got 27 people on here, 25, like pretty consistently, which is awesome for me because I only got like 1,000 subscribers. So I love seeing everybody on here, but it's pretty interesting. I'm learning all about the stuff. So, but anyways, end of the day, I love just coming out here and chatting with folks. So yeah, thank you for that. Okay. So I skipped over a piece here. Go back to it. So always pay attention to the spacing. You don't need to start from your videos. Oh yeah. No, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, no, it's like I said, I'll get it figured out. I've got an entire strategy on my business that I'm following specifically for this because I'm testing this stuff out for my clients too, as far as monetization and what that looks like for their client reach and everything. So whole strategy here. But yeah, no, trust me, man. I just love the fact I get to come out here. So the other side here is you want to make sure you get your spacing and your depth right on this. Okay, you can adjust the spacing. You can have stuff closer. It's not gonna be a problem. What I would say is anytime that you can, and it makes sense, always try to follow the spacing because a lot of that it has to do with if they're heavy feeders. It has to do with how much airflow they need. Like there's a lot of reasons that they talk about the spacing, okay? All that being said, don't worry about it that much. Do your best. Do your best, okay? So we are gonna start right here. Here, I'm just gonna make some holes and we're gonna count out 3, 1, 2, 3. Right about there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're gonna drop one more right here. Actually, I'm gonna build that up just a little bit more. So we're gonna have a mess of zucchini plants going on. That's what we're looking at here. So I've got, we'll count them out. And so with this, we're gonna be doubling up on these things a little bit, for sure. Not too worried about it, So for those that haven't seen zucchini seeds, right? Because how many people actually have seen zucchini when it's actually mature? Like not a lot of folks, right? Most of the zucchini you pull is still immature, so it's soft and tender. It hasn't fully, zucchinied, right? But the other thing that's really nice too is the zucchini flowers to be able to do those. So, so this is what they look like. Again, they look like any other type of squash type of seed you got here. A couple channel names for you. How does it grow? How to grow? Yeah. Oh, trust me. There's, thank you. I have some PTSD from like using my name and stuff. When I was in the military, as soon as my drill instructors realized that my name was a question, my life got immensely terrible after that. How did you get here? How could you be so stupid? How are you? And it was just for, I don't know, probably about 2 years. That's what I dealt with. So I have a little PTSD, but thank you for that. So here's what we're going to do, guys. I've got plenty. So there's an earlier question, like how many seeds are in this thing? Like, I mean, this is what we're talking about. We got tons in here, guys. We got tons. So I'm going to like probably double or I'm probably going to triple these up. Now there's a trick you can do with these, because these are, so like how hard the seeds are, you can come in here and nip these. You can nip them if you want. You can soak them ahead of time in water for like a day if you'd like, to help get the germination going. There's all sorts of things you can do. There's no wrong answer, right? Just give it a try. Figure out what works best for you. For me, I just drop them in the ground, right? The only thing that I pre-soak is my grass seed. I put that in the, I will put that in a bucket with some water for, yeah, absolutely, 100% is the deal. Yeah, and a lot of folks have success with it. I just don't do it most of the time because it's like, hey, I've got a few minutes. I got like a couple hours to come out here in the garden. I don't think that far ahead. That's why it doesn't necessarily work for me. But yeah, I do it for my grass seed for sure. Soaking the seeds. So wait, is your name Mr. 422? That's a great name, dude. Great name. That's great. It's one of the things like I love about YouTube is just some of the creativity on the names that we get around here. Also, you have folks that had the name that they originally, like when they were kids and signed up, and they still got their same YouTube account, you know, from way back in the day. So you end up with, you know, oh man, like whatever, you know, some sort of embarrassing whatever like that, and it's like on an email or whatever. Like, it's just funny when you hear those things. So, all right, so we've got the zucchinis going. I'm gonna just go through and just kind of cover it up nice and lightly here. I'm not going to use my hoe on this one because I want to make sure like they're covered in the right way here. I've got some of my mice friends are around, right? I got a little mouse problem in here, and once they pop off, everybody gets covered for a while. I can show you like on my cucumbers, some of the early cucumbers that I've started, kind of show you how I'm treating them just to make sure with the mice aren't able to come in and get snacks. And once they're established, if the mice want to come and grab a snack, I ain't gonna, you know, a couple leaves here and there, I ain't gonna knock them for that, but they will absolutely devastate the germination if I'm not smart about it. Okay, so all right, so let's see. Yeah, let me show you real quick before we get into the yellow squash here. Take a quick little walk over here. Swink. Take you off here. Come on, there we go. Oh, what the heck happened there? Done. What happened to green screen? Oh no, we don't want green screen. I'm back. We're live here, folks, as you can tell. So I've got stuff here that hasn't necessarily germinated yet, right? But I have these that I started earlier, and then these are some cucumbers that we just kind of got going here a little bit, okay? Just to keep the mice away from them. And like today's a cloudy day, so I have them covered. And yeah, the squirrels will get in there too, 100%. They're just, everybody's looking for a snack, right? So I get it. But with that, like today's a cloudy day, so I'll keep them covered. But when it's the sun's out, those come off, except at nighttime. So like that's kind of the deal, just to keep it straight. Let's see what we've got on time here. Cool, doing really good on time here today, folks. So hope everybody's enjoying the stream so far. We've been appreciate everybody coming by. It's always fun when I got a crowd out here. All right, so next up, how's the mic, by the way? It's a new mic. Everything sound okay? Does it sound like I'm talking through a tunnel or anything, or does it sound okay? So we got yellow squash. Again, this is a summer squash. This is really soft. These are meant to be eaten mature, you know, not fully mature. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I had one time where this mic like fumbled in over and it was like that. It was terrible. So thank you for that. But yeah, we definitely want to have these things when they're immature, just so the skin stays soft. So same thing we had before. We're just going to take a look and follow the directions on here. And it's got us 24-inch spacing between them, and then we're going to be an inch deep on this, okay? And again, what I love about these, they give you the little QR code that you can go and, if you want to learn more about what you have, so the whole growing guide. I sent a note to these folks over here at the Organo Republic, just let them know I'm doing this. And I've been giving them reviews. So if you're looking for, I mean, again, they are not sponsored. So YouTube, when you're going through and doing your review on this for monetization, they are not sponsored. I'm just a big fan. So all right, I'm going to move you over here. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're just kind of, we're going along. Like I was saying, it's you guys missed out. You guys can see it there. We had a good time building that chicken run on Saturday. That was fun. I got some sun that day. I'll say that much. So, but okay. So as we were talking on that, we are dealing with 24 inches, basically separation, and then an inch down. Okay. So same thing here. We're just going to kind of make our little holes here. I'm going to come back through and adjust the hole depth here. 1, 2. When I plant the seeds to make sure everything's good, because 1, 2. And what's really great about the yellow squash is like everyone loves yellow squash. So like my neighbors, 1, 2, they will be over here. I'm going to make a actually probably on stream. I'm going to build a little vegetable stand for my neighbors to come grab stuff. You know, I'm living in a pretty I want to say impoverished area, but it's a low income area. I moved back here. I can do my business. My job as a business consultant anywhere. You know, allowed to do stuff online, or I travel. So I want to be able to give some stuff back. And like these yellow squash, because these things produce like crazy. You know, I want to be able to kind of make it easier for my neighbors to come get those. So we're probably gonna do it on stream here in the next, I don't know, next month or so, to make sure we're ready when stuff's coming out. So turkeys, geese, ducks. Oh heck yeah! Oh yeah, they're great. I love my girls. They're only had them for a couple months now. I've got a brand sent me some stuff to test, so I'm gonna have like a review on like their black soldier fly stuff. It's Grub Terra, again, not sponsored for this one. And you know, the chicks love it. You know, it's like anything, they're conditioned to hear the bag shaking and they just come running. You know, that little chicken waddle going down the thing. It's too funny. But and the chicks are really just here for their manure more than anything. I mean, I'll get a couple eggs out of them, sure, but I only have 6. But I'm looking for additional manure to have in the garden for fertilizer. Like that's the idea. So, you know, plus they help out with the compost and other things too. Yeah, quails first. Yeah, people are sleeping on quails. I got you there. I think that's a good one. All right, so here is the yellow squash here. Again, like I said, these are squash. Again, you can pre-soak them, like we talked about. That is 100%. If you want to do the thing, you can do the thing. Like for me, we're just going to drop them in here and, you know, wish them good luck. One other thing too is you're going to notice that I'm pretty clumsy and I'm dropping seeds all over as I'm doing this. One thing I will tell you is don't worry about that. Nothing better than surprise squash if you have it. Like where they just kind of show up like, oh, I got a squash plant that showed up. Cool. We love that. We love that. Couple of reasons, to be honest, whatever you're growing that's extra. One of the things that to keep in mind is our goal here to have healthy soil is to always have something growing in the soil. So if you have something pop up in a place naturally, awesome. Hey Red, we're gonna hook you up, girl. You're gonna have all the squash you can possibly manage. So we're gonna save these guys. All right, gonna save these. And again, that's going to be the big piece we're going to be dealing with right there is the squash. So now, just like we did last time here, is I'm going to come through and we're going to cover these up. Now, again, on these, this was an inch depth on these is what they're looking for. So we're going to just make sure they're covered up, packed down in the right way. And the thing, so here's the other piece. So when these are growing, right, and they come up like how I've got them kind of tightly spaced here, is you're thinning. Don't thin your squash or anything until you get the first true leaves are coming out. After you get the first true leaf, come through and just nip them off, okay? Don't rip them out. You want to cut them. Their leaves, their roots are still pretty fragile, so we want to make sure that we're just kind of protecting them there, okay? And if you rip them out, you're going to rip the roots up too. Now I'm not going to run like the hose after any of this, like we're putting the stuff in here. Dang, squash. Yeah, exactly, there you go. One of the things that you know, here, I'm not going to run the hose after this one. We had rain all day, so it's already pretty moist. But we're getting ready to have some thunderstorms come through here and like severe weather tomorrow. So I'm expecting this place to get kind of soaked. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I grew up on a farm, and we had a you know, a couple thousand acres. I wasn't always farming what Grandpa told me to. I get what you're talking about. I get what you're talking about. So, all right. So this area over here is where I'm going to put my beans at. And you guys aren't even in the shot. Come on, Ryan. It's like amateur hour here. It's like acting like you just got monetized. You don't even know what you're doing. All right. So on this area over here, got to bring this with me, has already been cleared out a couple times. I'm going to run the Broadfork again. Again, it's just best practice when you're doing these things is to make sure that you're, anytime prior to putting anything in the soil, just go through the Broadfork. It takes like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes. Like if you don't have it, you can use a pitchfork, just something to basically just lift up the soil. That's really all you're going here for folks, is just to fight the compaction. It's so bad for your plants. It's going to stunt the growth. It's going to, oh, got some sprinkles going on here. Look at that. It looks like it'll be short-lived. Okay, actually, good call. I got to hydrate. So real quick, folks, if you've been hanging out with me, we got 41 minutes into the stream. If you got a drink, get something to drink. If you haven't stood in a while, make sure you stand up, stretch a little bit. Got to make sure you stay moving, folks, okay? So get up, you know, stretch it out a little bit. I think you'll enjoy it. You know, got to keep everything going. All right, so before I get started, let me grab the beans that we'll be doing. Where are they at? Kind of show you guys the whole package here. So there's those cucumbers that we already started. And so, yeah, trust me, you may not tell, but I'm sweating here. So we've got some lettuces, right? And endive. Endive is great to grow if you've never grown endive. Really good. They've got these I'm going to throw these just everywhere. Black oil sunflower. I have so many sunflowers that grow naturally around here from just the stuff I've had. We get some pumpkin in the ground here in a little bit. Different pumpkin, okra, cauliflower, scalp bean. Here we go. So we're going to learn about our bean. Like that's going to be the thing here. What do we got here? All right. So that's one of the pieces here that we are going to be looking at. What type of beans are these? Dun, dun, dun. Are they bush? Are they going to be running? Do they need to be supported? Let's find out. All right. So that's the thing with your beans. You got to kind of know what you're dealing with here. All right. So right off the bat, it will tell you. So same thing with tomatoes. If you're unaware of tomatoes, there's determinate and indeterminate varieties. You want to make sure you know what type you have. You know, so it's very important, either indeterminate, which means it grows forever, or determinate, which is a bush style. It grows to a determined amount of height, fruits, and then you got everything. Same thing with these guys, with your beans. You got to know, do you have basically the string variety that are going to grow everywhere, or is it bush? Like this says right here, it says right at the top that this is a bush variety. High yields of tender green pods, ideal for small spaces, quick maturing, delicious for fresh or frozen use. We love that for us. So, and they give us a cool little color chart here. It says to start in June. It's basically June. We're good. We're good. We'll make it work. And here's the stuff I want to be able to see here. So we've got 4 to 6 inches right here. As far as spacing, yeah, pole beans are just annoying. I'm with you right there. In my area, we all grow bush style beans. We used to have a canning factory that was just the next town over, and we would have acres and acres of basically bush beans that people would come and pick beans and pay us to go grab them. So that's what I've ever known. So 4 to 6 inch spacing on this and 1 inch deep. And that's what we'll be looking for here. And I'm going to do probably 1, 2. I'm probably going to do 3 rows of them here. I think I'll do 3 rows. We'll see what it ends up looking like. So let me move this out of the way. I'm over here, doing this here. Then we'll go from here. See what we got. Whew. It is just. The air's thick today, folks. It's thick. very humid. We got all the humidity today. It is something. Got somebody at my front door. Oh. No. All right, somebody trying to sell something. I don't think we're buying. Okay, cool. So back at it here. So, oh yeah, absolutely. You got it. You got it. Let's do it. So, again, just like we did before here, we're just going to loosen up the soil. It's important to do this. Again, I have compost that I put. So I put like a fresh compost. Well, I should say it's not. It wasn't fully composted. Just to show you guys, from last year, I always put this down before I do my broadforking. So you can see it's got some pretty good. It's broken down fairly well, but it's still can be used as a mulch, and that's what I like to have. Okay, so that's why I put it down. And what happens, just naturally, as I'm going through and doing my broadforking, right, is I'm going to turn around so you guys can see me. That the compost matter falls down into the actual soil itself. So that's one of the ways that I help to make sure that I can get organic matter into the soil without having to turn it, right? So I'm just lifting up, and naturally some falls in. That's okay, because it's not going to bother the microbes who are introducing good aerobic bacteria into the soil to help out, which is what we want. Yeah, so if you don't have a broad fork, it's one of those things like when you look at them, you're like, ugh, it just seems like a silly type of thing. It is one of the best tools to have in the garden. I didn't realize just how awesome it is, how much better it makes growing until I had one. Now, like I said, it is such an important part of my, to start the season off right, just to make sure I got broad fork going, you know what I mean? And it's an investment. I think this one was $120, $130. Yeah, not a rake, it's a fork. But yeah, it's they're designed, basically they have one thing that they do. Get this off of here. You can use them for a few different things, but they're designed for compaction. It's like right here, you can see I got in about this far before doing the work. And over here, I'm almost all the way down. And that's what we want to have right there. But you can get them, you can get them from Amazon. I got this one from Amazon for like 120. Whew. This is a good thing to show off for you guys. Yeah. So this is when we were talking about the clay. Look at that piece. I could throw, if we had, like I like to say, if I had a potter's wheel right now, Mr. 420, I could make you an ashtray. Like I could do that. That's how like pure the clay is around here in spots. It's insane. The other thing that's nice about it, I don't know if you guys can see it here, but I've got a bit of crabgrass growing. Once you break up the soil like that, you're able to pull the entire basically rhizome and everything up at once, which is great, which is what you want. Just loosen this stuff up. So we're gonna have beans right next to cucumbers. And I know there's some plants you're not supposed to plant next to each other for reasons, and they're valid. I just never pay attention to it. It's just one of those things, like I never pay attention. I always forget too. I know I could look it up, but this is what it is. I don't think the beans and the cucumbers are gonna fight each other. I think we'll be okay. All right, so these are gonna be every 4 to 6 inches is where we want to go here. So, but I want to make sure I got spacing over here just to be able to walk through. So we're gonna make this a foot to start with. And it's the same thing. Now beans aren't this as worrisome per se, especially the bush variety, about being raised up. So mix that up a little soil in there. But we still want to have something where it's raised a little bit. I just don't like to have This is what's going to happen. Trust me on this. I'm worried we're going to have, you know, one of them's going to be choking the other one out. We don't want that. Well, lots of cucumbers, lots of beans. But like I said, I like to have the stuff raised up. I think it just makes for a healthier plant, you know, healthier plant experience, etc. You know, plus it's easier to get around, and, you know, if your garden, if your area, if it's all, you know, not level, it kind of takes, it helps to channel the water out, but it's also, the water sinks and then spreads over and gets into your roots that way too. So, you know, all things considered, it's not terrible. Okay, I want to make sure I got the distance right here. But yeah, it's you know, I grew up farming, you know, so there's stuff that, you know, obviously I remember from farming, but gardening is a bit different than farming, especially on a commercial scale. It's let's see here. Cucumber has a weight advantage. I love it. You're running with that. So commercial farming obviously is a little bit different than gardening. I don't use any fertilizers in here. It's all compost and like just taking care of the bacteria. I guess where my goal's at. So, all right, so we got that part done. Next up, folks, we are going to be. What are you guys doing? What did you guys find, huh? Did you get a fly? Yeah, I got one of the chickens. One of the chickens got a fly, so now they're playing chase the chicken around the run. All right. So it's a little bit, there's people that are much better than me at this stuff that you, if you're not following. One of the ones I love is the no-till growers. Farmer Jesse, dude is so good at this stuff. So we've got 1 inch here and then 4 to 6 inches. So we're just gonna kind of eyeball this here. I don't know if I have enough, I don't know if I have enough beans for all these. We're gonna find out though, folks. It's gonna be an adventure. I think we'll be okay, but again, even if we're not, I'm gonna start on this side too, because if I run out, I'd rather run on this side just for an easier walk than anything. There's now with this, like with these beans, they're easier to like plant and deal with. But like with the lettuce, it's a bunch of literally really fine seeds that are everywhere. So what I recommended, what I did for those is I built it up and then run a trench like all the way down and then just sprinkle along and thin out later, okay? You know, lettuce seeds, they come basically 1,000 to a pack. Like they're ridiculous. So you don't have to really, you know, spread them out. But with these, you know, it's a little bit different. Again, we'll see if how many I end up having room for here. All right, what do we got here? Here they ran everywhere, pulled. Yeah, once you get those things, yeah, once you have, you know, your gourds, those summer, you know, those type of squash, they're pretty unruly. Yeah, I see, I know what you're talking about there. Got to keep your eyes on them. So, but like I said, so I'm just going through here. We're just kind of, I'm making best guess at about 4 to 6 inches here. Not too worried about, again, not worried about pretty. That's the other one too. I see a lot of people really stressing out about like their distancing. You gotta make sure it's right. Make sure the rows look perfect and stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, when your plants get big, they get bigger. Don't worry about the spacing. We're not worried, you know, they'll fill in. They're like a gas. They will grow to basically to fill the space that surrounds them. If you give sunlight to a plant on one spot, it will take advantage of it and grow that direction. So don't worry about it. Way too many folks worry about that. And when you worry about stuff doesn't like to grow. When I used to brew beer, that was one of my favorite sayings that they would say in like the guide, basically the Bible for growing beer, the home brewer's guide. Don't worrying spoils beer. If you worry, your beer is going to get spoiled. And I've took that to heart just kind of in life as a whole. It's like, hey, let's not worry about as much stuff here, folks. It's not as bad as we think it's going to be. So, you know, same thing applies here. We don't want to worry about stuff. Whew. Folks. I was waiting for someone to make that joke, so gold star for you. Gold star for you, Sci-Fax. I literally teed it up for folks, so good on you. So yeah, so here's our beans, right? And here's what they're coming up looking like. So we're just gonna let these guys go. We're gonna get them in here and just kind of have beans today. And I'm gonna start with 1 per, because I want to make sure I get as many of these in here as I can. And if I need to come back and double up, I will. Just cause. Yeah, I'm going to be able to double up, but we're going to make sure first that we're good. And then come and cover everybody up. Like I said, I have so many plastic cups, folks. I have every plastic cup in Michigan, I think. The clear ones ready for the garden this year to protect my plants from the mice once they come up. Because there's one plant that, especially this, that the mice love. They love them some bean sprouts. It is like nectar to them. So we are going to do everything I can to ward. Oh, I got thunder over there. Oh. Didn't like hearing that. Gotta start moving it inside anyways here in a little bit. I've got to start getting ready for my thing. So I ended up with like this many left over. So we are just gonna kind of toss them in here somewhere. Just kind of sprinkle them wherever. Have some bonus mystery beans going. So me the gloves back on, then we're gonna cover these up. Where'd my gloves go? Gloves, there they are. All right, we're doing good here, folks. We're making amazing time. I appreciate everybody's been hanging out here. Again, if you've been here for a minute or you're new, welcome. If you've been here for a minute, hopefully I earned your subscription. You know, here doing, just working in northern Michigan, making sure we're good here. And the other thing here is just giving these, like, once they're getting set in here, folks, the beans, just giving a healthy little bean tap. Just a little bit of a tap here, just to help them be good here. Help them settle, because I expect there to be some significant hydration event tomorrow at some point. And these guys are going to get rocked. So we want to give them every bit of chance we can to help them be able to absorb this and not, you know, make sure they don't get washed away. Get that green out of there. There we go. Cool, we're looking good, folks. We got beans in the ground and sweat in my eyes. Ooh. All right, so last thing we got here for today are these mystery plants. I have no idea what they are. I planted them on a stream. I forgot to label them. And when I put the Google lens on them, it doesn't know what they are. It says, looks like some sort of either bean or what's the other thing it called them? Wasn't a lettuce. What was it? It's a bean or something, but I didn't know. Oh, or like a pepper, right? So I've been kind of half starving these guys. I have no idea what these are. Not in the slightest. These are onions that I have that I was just kind of testing them out, see how they do. These will get transplanted later. So good stuff. That one could be sacrificed. Anyways. But yeah, I have no idea what these are. So we're gonna plant these. But I'm gonna plant them underneath like the chicken coop. They're kind of off to the side here. Because I have no idea what they are, and I just don't really want them by anything else. I don't think it's anything like dangerous. You know, they don't look like a certain plant, like they're not there. But yeah, so we're just gonna pop them in the ground here real quick. I might be a pepper. I'm with you. It might be a pepper. They might be bell peppers. I don't know. But like I said, we're gonna drop them in the ground and try to figure it out. Like, let it go here. So I've got on this side, this is actually a really good thing for you guys to see too. Oh, sorry, my cowbells are going. Bring you guys down. where you got all my wild garlic is growing here. Just through here. I love this because I can just come out and trim some of this off, and I've got good stuff to saute with. So we kind of leave this alone. I'm just going to plant them right here, just kind of over the, out of the way here. And so let me grab my spade real quick. I'm not even going to break up the soil. I'm honestly not too concerned about how these do or anything. They've made it this long. I think they'll survive out here just fine. Excuse me. But you know, whatever. Mystery plants, folks. So if you haven't subscribed yet, you need to, so you can come back and see exactly what the heck these things are. So again, I'm just going to kind of put in a line down here. You know, just set them up here. I don't want them too. Well, I might do 2 rows. Get this guy here. I got what? How many? 5? I'll just do 1 row. And we're not going to worry about spacing or anything. But you can see, again, the soil here. Oh yeah, asparagus beds are great. They take forever though, but yeah, once you have them growing, you're good for like 25 years. It's just the difference on the soil over here, folks. Like it's so wonderful. You know, it's in such good shape versus that nasty clay grossness. Go. Try to break this up a little bit more. Do 1 more. There we go. I'm gonna drop these guys in here. Again, not too worried about the spacing here. And they've been in these pods now for about a month or so. So I'm sure they're pretty much root bound at this point. We'll see how the transplant goes. It's probably gonna shock the crap out of them, but we'll see. I feel bad. I do. It's been doing its job. I didn't do my job, take good care of it. But at the end of the day, we want to do our best to try to take care of it. But big whoopsie on my part. Oh man, that thunder's getting close here. All right, so we'll see how they do. So I got my audience here. I got my girls are watching me like, what is this guy doing? Is he growing snacks next to us? He better be. He knows what's good for him. I'm really gonna push these out. This guy, this particular set of pods has kind of lived its life. Whew, we will see. That's gonna be a rough transplant here, folks. I think hopefully we'll make it. Got 1 more here. Let's pop it in. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Get this last one. Again, my spacing is way too close on this, but again, if they start getting too big, you can thin them out where it's only a couple will make it. Now, last thing I'm going to do here is I'm just going to move some of this straw and compost and wood chips just back over for some mulch just to help out with moisture control. And there we go. I'm going to leave these onions out here. Not too worried about them. I got a ton of onions growing, plus onions are easy to start. And we're going to actually have some growing in the greenhouse this year. So all right, let's do a quick recap on what we did here. I think, actually, I owe you guys a quick little tour on when I was talking about the compost, real quick on that. So we got the greenhouse. This is on the north side of my garage. It's insulated, have it all set up. This whole thing was full. I've got my flowers, got my marigolds, we got zinnias. These are cleomes, got some more marigolds. I got backup tomatoes. And then I've got, oh man, what did I put in here? Why is my brain not working? It'll come back to me. What did I start in there? That'll come back to me. Probably not today though. Should have labeled it again. So this is what I was talking about with my compost. So this was already emptied this year. This is the last of last year's. This is the next pile that's been started, and you can see I got all those leaves and everything to go here. I've got some beds I gotta fill, some raised beds, which is what this will be for. Those are on the other side of the property, so I've got extra wood here. Chop all that down and use it to fill the beds. These are leftover stalks from my sunflowers from last year. If I need any supports or anything like in the garden, that's what they're for. You can see here I got my strawberries. They're all looking good. I got, well, strawberries, and then I got clover growing. Boo. But you can see they're all flowering, so I'm gonna have strawberries coming out here. It's already got some berries. You can see a little green one right there. So we got berries going. Bees have been over here. Everyone's living their best life. So yeah, as soon as the stream ends, I'll remember. I'll be like, oh, that's right, that was blah. So, whew, all right, I gave me some water. So, hey folks, it's been a good stream. Thanks for hanging out with me. I know it was a bit of a short one today. Like I said, I try to come here live pretty consistently. So if you did subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell. You know, we can come on here, appreciate it. If you like the content here also, and you know some folks you think would benefit from, you know, coming on here and just enjoying, or if they have some information you think would be helpful for folks, be sure to share it, let them know, okay? So I appreciate everybody. Take care, and again, good growing, guys. We'll see ya.